Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen, to Wrestling Showdown Entertainment. And yes, it's been a very, very long time since I've been gone, but I am back, and we're going to be starting it off with Monday Night Mania. And a quick thank you to our sponsors, Why We Watch Wrestling. I'll put the link to his YouTube channel down in the description, and also to the ownership of the company he's a part of, The Feelings of Fighting. Please go check him out. I'll put the Instagram page in the channel as well. And without further ado, let's start Monday Night Mania with our first match of the evening. And here we are with our first match. This is a tag team match. And ladies and gentlemen, we have some special news for you. I am not alone on commentating. I have my good buddy and my roommate, Wes, joining me on commentating. Say hello, Wes.
Hey, how you doing?
And then also other news. I will be posting a Wrestling Showdown Entertainment video every single day. That way we can get caught up, and then we'll go back to the regular schedule. But anyway, back to our match. We're going to start off with the tag team match, and making their way to the ring. The team of the dashing Victor Collins and the unpredictable bodyguard, Darren Payne, VIW. Very important wrestlers. And to let you know, VIW is 7-6 with wins and loss. So they're not doing too bad. I mean, I know Collins is after revenge with Ramirez and Walker because that's who they're going against. Well, what do you think about this, Wes?
I think they're going to do good. They have, the very important kind of feeling to them. Fancy stuff.
Okay. And speaking of their opponents, here comes the Native American warrior Troy Walker and the lone wolf Dominic Ramirez. And me and Wes were actually talking over the break, a little bit of a fourth wall breaking. We might have just came up with the name for the tag team groups. I think we're going to call them the Native Wolves. Let us know down in the comments below if you like that name. But to let you know, Ramirez and Walker are 2-1 right now with wins and loss. So for just starting out, they're not doing too bad, especially just having one loss and having the 2 wins. Especially since one of their wins was over VIW, which Collins ended up getting injured midway through the match. So this should be very interesting to see what happens here tonight.
Yeah, I like these guys. The NATO Wolves guys, I think they're going to do pretty good. They seem pretty focused.
Well, let me ask you this. If you were part of a tag team group, what would your main strategy be?
Outlast the big guy.
Just outlast the big guy?
Yeah, honestly, because the bigger they are, the harder, they're not going to be able to go as long. So if you just outlast them, you got it.
Okay. Well, I'm just curious because, when it comes to tag team, there's so many different maneuvers, so many different strategies to it that a lot of people use.
Yeah.
I know, for example, VIW style is Collins will usually start it off and will keep on hitting on whoever it is. Then once he gets a punch, he'll go in and tag Payne, who will just go and demolish. And then once Payne's done demolishing, he'll tag in Collins. That way Collins can get the finishing blow on it.
Okay.
Then Walker and Ramirez, they're kind of like the jokers of the group. You don't know what they're going to do.
Yeah.
Because they both know when they're about to get injured, when they need to be tagged in, so they'll take care of it as soon as possible. But it looks like right now Collins is taking full control, doing a pretty nice job.
Sure
a lot better than he has done in the past.
He's dominating the ring right now.
He is, but it looks like Walker might be taking some control with some nice elbows right to the ribs. Getting out of that hold. And here we go. Walker now has Collins by the back of the neck, trying to drag him over into the Native Wolf Lodge. Like what I did there.
I did.
Collins down on the ground, and here's the tag in. Ramirez is now the legal man. Big boy's coming in.
I would not want to go up against him.
No, not one bit. You can see Collins even move back a bit when he saw Ramirez get into the ring. He was kind of scared shitless a bit.
That's right.
But Payne's now in the match.
Here we go.
But Ramirez looks like he's going to start off strong, making sure he doesn't get that hot tag move in. And Ramirez is doing a good job taking control, just showing off his strength with everything he's doing. Nice big boot right there. And see, Ramirez is one of the strongest wrestlers. Earlier this year, to let you know, Wes, if you haven't been caught up on all of it, and to you, the fans at home, Ramirez was part of a super heavyweight fatal 4-way elimination match and was was like the second person eliminated. He outlasted the Russian giant Claude Overton, who you will see here tonight. But Jared Shields and Rex Page were able to last longer than he did. Rex Page ended up pulling off the win. He's also going to be competing here tonight in a triple threat match.
All right.
And Payne with a nice show of strength right there. A military press gut buster.
Wow.
And Payne now taking a little bit of control. Hopefully he can keep this momentum. Because it's bad if you lose your momentum in these matches, but it looks like he lost it already. Mm-hmm. Ramirez with a nice move right there. Ramirez looking to finish it right now. Well, not finishing it, but with a nice signature anyway.
Yeah.
So right now with the way Payne is going, he's got to figure out something. But here we go, on the top rope. Oh, no way. We're getting a superplex onto the outside of the ring, right there onto Payne. I would not be getting up from that.
I would not either.
Oh my goodness. And you can hear the crowd start saying, "This is awesome." Dun, 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 dun. And stepping onto the chest of Payne. My goodness.
Oh.
I mean, Ramirez has done such a great job right now just taking full control. Like, he hasn't really lost a lot of momentum. Like,
No.
if he gets knocked down, he just jumps back up as soon as possible. So this is kind of a one-sided match with the way it's going right now.
Yeah. Payne had a short while where he was getting back. He had a nice comeback, but it didn't last very long.
No, but here comes Collins. There's a nice double axe handle right on Ramirez. Another clothesline. There, another double axe handle. Beautiful hot tag clothesline right there. And there's the hot tag into Walker. Walker coming back in. Two that started off are going at it once again. Ooh, and missing that move. Nice punch right to the gut onto Walker. And slamming him down, grabbing him by the hair. So that's kind of one bad thing about guys having, like, guys and girls having long hair, because, like, if you have that, they're going to, like, people are going to use that to their advantage and just grab you.
See, I think Collins has the right idea with the shorter hair.
I like how we now just gone from, like, the wrestling to the style of it. And there's a beautiful running body slam right there onto Walker. And Payne's back up. He's back in the corner now. Ramirez still isn't up yet. And a nice stomp. And we can see Ramirez slowly starting to get up. And Collins might be ready to finish it. Picking up. And a beautiful stalling suplex right there onto Walker. Walker was trying to make it over to Ramirez, but fails. Collins able to stop him real quick. And now throwing him into the VIW lounge. What is Collins planning on doing here? Oh, we've seen this before. He's going for the dashing super kick.
Oh.
Doing amazing damage right there onto Walker. This might be it. Here's the pin.
Someone's going home with a headache regardless.
No joke. And there we go. VIW pulls off the win here tonight, gaining their 7th win, while Walker Ramirez gained their 2nd loss. This is kind of upsetting for Walker Ramirez because they've been on such a roll that now they're just like slowly just sliding down on the pole.
Yeah.
But we got to give a lot of credit to Ramirez. Ramirez had full control of the match until he went tagged in Walker and Payne came in. I mean, Collins came in as well for Payne. And I believe that's where a lot of the momentum changed. What do you think about this match?
I agree completely. Ramirez he was dominating the whole time, except for a short while where Payne got up the lead. But as soon as Collins switched in, it was over.
All right. Well, that ends this match. Let's move on to our second match. And here we are with our second match. This is a singles competition match, and making his way to the ring, Kenji Tawazaki. Now, Kenji Tawazaki has been in a rivalry with Keith Joyner. There's the dab! I love the dab so much when he does that. But Kenji Tawazaki's been in a rivalry with Keith Joyner. Keith Joyner ended up pulling out the win and injured Kenji Tawazaki in the process. He's been out for 2 weeks now, and he's finally back, and he's ready to compete here tonight on Monday Night Mania. Just to let you know, Wes, he is 3-7 with wins and loss. So he's not doing too well, but maybe he'll pick up some momentum? What do you have to say about this?
Yeah, he's a small dude, but I don't know. He seems passionate about it. He seems excited, hyped up. I think he's ready. I don't know how he's going to do tonight, but he seems energetic and ready for anything.
All right. Well, let's go ahead and see who his opponent is for this evening. And making his way to the ring, his opponent for this evening, Jeff Tyler.
My name's Jeff.
Oh my God. My name is Jeff. I wonder how much crap he would actually get if his name was actually Jeff Tyler and just walking around someone just said, my name is Jeff.
Especially being as big as he is, just walking around all swole, just like, yeah. My name's Jeff. Don't mess with me, man.
Well, to let you know, Jeff Tyler is 4-3, so he hasn't really competed as much, but he's on a nice little win streak right now. This might be the opportunity he needs to prove himself here tonight.
Yeah.
So, of the two contestants, who do you think is going to pull off the win?
Well, I'm thinking Jeff. He's bigger, he's stronger, and I don't know. I think he's got it.
Okay.
If nothing else, with just sheer muscle.
All right. Well, see, it's going to be kind of hard, especially with Kenji, because Kenji's so small, so agile and quick that you got to be fast and you got to be on your feet trying to get him. And it looks like Tyler's doing a pretty good job right now, as we can see in this match. Because Tyler's taking control right off the bat, has that momentum built up, going to the middle rope, and he's calling for Kawasaki to get up here. Now, beautiful Hurricane Rana from the middle rope, right onto Kawasaki. Kawasaki was trying to use the rope to get up, and Tyler's like, nah, you stay down. And just knocking him down as soon as he got back up. But
he does not want him standing at all.
No, he doesn't. And nice rollout by Kawasaki, able to get out of the way. Tyler's using this to showboat, but that's not the smartest idea in this kind of match.
No, it is not.
But there's a nice reversal, able to do a nice little flip right there on Kawasaki, throw him down. And there's a drop kick right onto Kawasaki. Kawasaki did have a little momentum, but lost that very, very fast.
Very quickly.
So right now for Kawasaki, and nice reversal, speaking of which, Kawasaki's got to do a lot of just wearing Tyler down, because Tyler is a very bold, very aggressive wrestler with his style. And if Tyler gets a hold of Kawasaki, he's going to pretty much brutally murder him in a way. So Kawasaki's got to keep this momentum built up, got to keep this pace going, and not let it go down. Because if he lets it go down, just like he did right there, Tyler will take control. And there was a nice running bulldog right there by Tyler on to Kenji Kawasaki.
Like I was saying earlier, you got to outlast the big guy.
Mm-hmm, exactly.
That's exactly how I was with this. And keep your distance, do some ranged stuff, whatever you can. Just stay away from him. Let him expend all of his energy, and then once he's out and you have pretty much all your energy left, go after him.
Exactly. As we can see, Tyler already working, trying to break the neck of Kawasaki right there. And you gotta feel kind of bad for Kawasaki, and as we see Tyler now has him in a submission to hold, will Kawasaki tap out here? No, it doesn't look like it. Kawasaki able to get out. But we also got to remember with Kawasaki, he's just got back from injury.
Yeah.
It would suck if he had to end up leaving once again due to injury once more.
That would suck.
Because I feel really bad for him because he's been trying so hard to prove himself, but he's been getting injured nonstop. It's from Joyner and now going into this match. Here's the pin on him as we're talking about it, and only a 1 count right there. Got to do a little bit more. Kawasaki's got too much of an underdog heart in him that he's not going to give up that easily.
Yeah.
And sometimes that's all it takes, is just having the heart to prove yourself in a match like this.
That's right. Having that little bit of heart can, as long as you got more than the guy you're going up against, you always have something up on him.
And a nice double knee right there onto Tyler, knocking him back down after he just got up. But Tyler, now with a nice reversal, knocking Kawasaki down right off the bat. And Tyler's probably not happy about this, getting his butt kicked by Kawasaki.
Yeah.
And a beautiful springboard moonsault right there from the middle rope. And what are we going to see here from Tyler now? A nice reversal by Kawasaki, able to pull off a Hurricane Rana.
Yeah.
Like I said, his speed's amazing. You got to be fast with him. Only a 1 count, and Kawasaki's got to do a little bit more work on Tyler to get him down. And at the same time, once you find like a weak spot on a wrestler, you got to focus on that spot if you want the chance to win the match.
That's right. Looks like Tyler's having a hard time standing up now.
He is, and especially after just being snake-eyed right there onto the top turnbuckle. Nice stomp right there onto the elbow, doing some damage to the arm. Kawasaki's just focusing on hurting every part of the body just to find some way to pin him right here. And a nice backdrop right there. There's Kawasaki.
Ouch.
At first I thought you were actually hurt. I was about to say, what's going on, buddy?
Just watching that made my arm hurt.
So how would you feel about getting in the ring with, beautiful moonsault right there, going halfway across the ring.
Yeah.
Here's the pin. 1, 2, not good enough.
Not yet.
Kawasaki a little shocked about it, trying to get a quick breather while he thinks of a new plan. It looks like he's going to try to build up some momentum, showing off his guns to the crowd. There we go. That's a good little twig right there. But Tyler going to use that now to his advantage, stopping him. Nice reversal. About to go right to a butterfly powerbomb, but Kenji able to reverse it. And a beautiful springboard 450 splash. I mean, not 450, 360 splash. Oh, almost getting the pin right there. Kawasaki does not believe it. He's getting a little upset with the ref right now. He shouldn't be getting upset. Like, it's not the ref's fault. Nice reversal by Tyler. I like how this is more of a well-balanced match between the two. As we can see, Tyler's trying to lock in the walls of Tyler here. This might be it for Kawasaki.
Oh.
And that is it. Kawasaki taps out. Jeff Tyler wins the match, gaining his 5th win, while Kenji gains his 8th loss. Now, what do you think about that match, Wes?
Well, even though he lost and he was smaller, he held his own against Jeff. He didn't give up, he didn't let up, and if he saw an opportunity, he took it without hesitation.
Especially right there with that springboard moonsault from the top rope doing that. As you can see from the replays, Kenji Kawasaki was doing such a great job. But after this, the beautiful 360 splash springboard, that's when it all went downhill because Tyler was able to gain some momentum, able to get that kind of like comeback built up, and took control and locking in his finisher submission onto Kawasaki.
Yeah.
And that's got to hurt Kawasaki's body, especially with his chest and torso area, since that's where he was injured at last time.
Yeah.
But without further ado, let's move on to our third match, shall we?
Sounds good.
And here we are with our third match. It is a fatal 4-way match. And the winner... Well, let's see. Should we? I think we should. The winner will get an opportunity to be one of the contenders at our next pay-per-view event of Cash Slam. They will compete to become Mr. Cash. And let's just let you know, if they win and become Mr. Cash, they will, of course, have that name. They'll get a longer contract, and also they'll get a shot at the main title on their show. So this should be very interesting, especially now since we have our first contestant making his way to the ring, the emo kid Tai Po.
Tell you what, I wouldn't want to go up against this guy. He might give me nightmares. He's a little creepy.
Aw, he's cute with the button. He's a little kid. It's okay. I say that, and he's probably going to kill me tonight. But to let you know, Tai Po, this is very impressive. Tai Po is 3-0 with wins and loss. He's not lost once. So this should be very interesting. See how he does in this match. see if he'll be able to pull off another win against the other 3 competitors, or if he'll finally get his first loss and be the one pinned down to the ground.
I'm telling you, man, he keeps giving all the other wrestlers nightmares and they don't want to fight him.
That's very true. And here comes our second competitor, speaking of which. The first ever Galaxy champion, and I always have to say this because it breaks my heart every time, the former Fly High 25 member, the Superman of WSE, Christopher Bailey. I'm really excited to see how Christopher Bailey does here because he's really been trying to prove himself lately, especially after the breakup with him and Peace. He's been wanting to compete more in singles division. He did have a run at the Galaxy title, but failed to beat Coronado once again. So he's decided to go after the main title, the heavyweight title. But Christopher Bailey, to let y'all know, is 7-5 with wins and loss. So he's not doing too bad. It's
not too bad at all.
No, it's more of he's got to just keep building up that momentum and keep going with this match. And if I remember right, he is on a bit of a hot streak lately, because if I remember, he's actually won 2 matches in a row. Oh. So this should be very interesting to see how he does here tonight.
Yeah.
And here we go with our third competitor making his way to the ring. It's hard to beat him, Zach Harden. Now, I will tell you that Zach Harden has been on an amazing roll lately. He's wanting a shot at being part of Cash Slam. So I've decided if he does well, and if me and Wes have both agreed, and we'll also let the audience, y'all, agree, if he does well in this match, give me a good like on it, and also comment down below saying put Harden in. And if y'all want Harden to be in the match, we'll put him in Cash Slam, see if he can become Mr. Cash. What do you think of that?
Sounds like a good idea to me.
Alright. Well, to let you know real quick on Zach Harden, as I actually tried to find his name because he has disappeared. Zach Harden is 2-5 right now with wins and loss. Like I said, he's starting to get on that nice streak with winning a lot of his matches. Yeah. We'll just have to see if he keeps it up. And here we go, our final competitor making his way to the ring. The perfect Keith Joyner. Alright, what's with the smile, Wes?
Oh, he just looks like, oh, love me, people.
I mean, that's how he pretty much is.
Yeah.
That's why he calls himself the perfect Keith Joyner. He expects everyone just to love him because he's so perfect. Well, to let you know, he is 3-6 right now with wins and loss. And what's hilarious, what I find very hilarious, is Kenji Tawazaki and Keith Joyner had this huge rivalry with each other, but they only fought each other like 2 times maybe. The rest of the times they've been going up against someone else and getting their butts kicked by them. So it's very funny to see, how after having such a big rivalry, Joyner and Tawazaki finally had a match with each other, and Joyner came out on top of it. Especially being the first heel to come out on top in a rivalry match. That's very, very neat to see. But of the 4 competitors we have, what are you thinking right now with these 4?
Well, Poe kind of gives me the creeps a little bit.
Doesn't everyone get creeped out by Poe?
Yeah, look at those eyes. But I gotta say, my favorite one is probably Bailey.
Alright.
Yeah.
What makes you say Bailey?
Well, first of all, I like his outfit. And also, he's kind of got that little Boy Scout kind of look to him, you know?
Mm-hmm.
Kind of attitude.
Exactly how, Superman is.
Absolutely.
Well, as we can see right now, Joyner and Bailey are fighting on the inside of the ring while Poe and Harden are battling on the outside. There's no countouts in this match, so anything can happen on the outside.
Yeah.
So this should be very interesting to see what happens, especially seeing how Poe is already doing a good job going after Harden, realizing Harden is a threat with the way he's going right now.
He's just demolishing Harden.
He is. And as we can see back in the ring, Bailey's now doing a nice job and looking to hurt the arm of Joyner, bending it down and looking for a nice stomp maybe? Yeah, there's a nice stomp right there onto the arm.
That did not look comfy.
No, not at all. And Poe throwing Harden back in the ring. Here comes Poe now. And Bailey messing up on the Irish whip. Bailey able to save Harden from being pinned right there. And a beautiful swinging neck breaker. Oh, a reversing swinging neck breaker. And there's a nice Frankensteiner right there by Poe, right onto Harden. Nice reversal. It's crazy how much, like, how hard this match can be at times, because not only are you having to focus on getting the win, you have to watch out for every single person in the ring, because you have to be smart and strategic about how you win this match. Because if you go and just beat up on one guy the entire time and try to go for the pin on him, you still got two other guys who are going to be like jumping on you to stop that pin because they want the win. And there we go. As you can see, two of them were already trying to go after Harden right there. Bailey messed up because Joyner came in and knocked him down. And now Poe took control. But as we can see now, Bailey getting a little revenge on Poe, even though Poe's not the one who knocked into him to begin with.
Yeah.
And Harden's on the outside trying to get back up. And it's kind of a team-up match right now on Poe. Joyner and Bailey have pretty much made a truce right now whilst they team up. Beautiful Russian leg sweep right there by Bailey onto Poe. And Harden's back in the ring and everyone goes back the way it was. And there goes Joyner out of the ring now. Bailey following. So we just kind of a bit of a switcheroo.
Sure did.
Well, what would your strategy be in a fatal four-way match?
Well, like I said earlier, Outlast the big guy. That wouldn't really work in this kind of situation. With this one, like you were saying, you got to work on everybody a little bit. Just, work on one guy, move on to the next one, work on him a little bit, and then go to the next one. You just got to kind of rotate it and let your opponents beat up on each other and kind of do the work for you. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm. That is very true, because not only are they your enemies, but they're also your allies in these matches.
That's true.
You got to be smart about all your decisions. And there's a beautiful uppercut by Harden. Poe rolling out of the ring trying to get out of there. And he turns attention towards Bailey out of everyone in the match. I'm very shocked it's Bailey. But it looks like we're going to have a little bit of a truce here now with Joyner and Harden. Joyner just making truce with everyone here.
Yeah.
That's kind of a smart decision in a way. But at the same time, that could be dangerous.
See, for me, I want to team up with one of the weaker guys, one of the ones that I know I could take out pretty quick.
Okay, very interesting.
Yeah.
Well, who would you say is the weakest guy in this ring right now?
Well, I would probably go with Bailey and Poe.
Really?
Yep.
So you're cheering for Bailey, but you also think he's probably one of the weakest.
Well, yes and no. I think he's probably one of the smallest. Like, he's not weak, don't get me wrong. But he's probably one of the weakest compared to someone like Harding. As he has a lot of mass on him. But he's definitely not weak. Don't get me wrong on that one. But he's probably one of the weaker ones.
Okay.
But his flying attacks and whatnot, those are definitely like his strong suit.
Okay. And what about with Poe? You said Poe was probably also one of the weak ones as well.
He is definitely not weak. As we saw earlier in the match, he was just dominating Harding on the other side of the ring. But compared to everyone else that's around him, he's one of the weaker ones. But he's definitely not weak, and he can definitely hold his own against these stronger guys.
That's very true, especially since out of the entire bunch, Poe is the daredevil of the group. He's not afraid to get on top of a ladder and jump off and attack someone if he needs to.
Yeah.
And I agree with you that none of them are really weak. It's just more like who's like not going to be the strongest in a match like this, really.
Yeah.
And I don't know. It's like really hard to decide because you got people like Poe who don't really depend on anyone but himself. Beautiful twist of fate, breaking Harden open. Here's the pin, but Joyner stops that real quick. My goodness. But like I said, like Poe, he doesn't depend on anyone really. Like, so that kind of makes him it makes it a little bit hard for him in matches like this.
Yeah.
While at the same time, it makes it kind of And then you got like Harden and Bailey, who they'll team up with people when they need to, but at the same time they know they have to depend on themselves to win the matches.
Yeah.
And then you got Joyner, who's going to be snake about everything and say, hey, let's team up. I won't betray you, and then backstabs them to get a win.
Yep. Personally, I would get Joyner out, followed by Harden, and then Poe and Bailey just duke it out.
Okay. Well, see, that's going to be the hard part, because with a fatal four-way match, and with a fatal four-way match, since this is just a regular fatal four-way match, only one once you get the pin, if you get the pin on whoever it is, you win the match.
Oh, wow, okay.
Now, we do have fatal four-way elimination matches, which we do every now and then, and I'll let you know when we do those, but right now this is just a normal fatal four-way, so pretty much one person gets pinned, that's it, game over. Person who pins them wins. Person who gets pinned gets a loss.
All right.
The other two, they don't get a loss, they're just more like, dang, I can't believe I just lost.
Yeah. Well, in that case, I would say get Joyner out.
Here we go, but Poe going for the pin.
Look at them.
But Bailey stopping that real quick. And, alright, so I gotta be funny real quick, because I don't know the name of the wrestling maneuver, and breaking the fourth wall, like, I love wrestling, I just don't know a lot of the names to some of the maneuvers. Mm-hmm. But that one that Harden just did on Joyner, I always called the Heimlich maneuver, the alligator roll Heimlich maneuver combo.
Yeah.
Just because to me, that's like a very funny name.
When I saw him rolling around with him, and he kind of was like hucking him.
And there's our winner, Zach Harden, getting the pin on Poe. Poe gaining his first loss here tonight.
Wow, okay.
I'm sorry about that. I just cut you off. I saw it happen. That was just out of nowhere.
That's all right. What I was saying was when I saw him, giving him the Heimlich, that was the first thing that popped in my head. He was just giving him the Heimlich. But wow.
Yeah, and it looks like we don't have to put up a poll anymore. Zach Harden gets the shot. He's going to be our first contender for Monday Night Mania to compete, to become Mr. Cash.
All right.
So I'm very excited to see how that's going to work with him on when the pay-per-view comes around. Because now we just need 2 more for Monday Night Mania and 3 more for Friday Night Frenzy to have our pay-per-view event.
All right.
But here's your winner, Zach Harden, especially getting busted open.
Yeah.
Being able to get revenge and win the match.
He did not let that stop him.
Not one bit.
If anything, it seems to have fueled him.
That did. Without further ado, let's move on to our next match.